Only 5 men have been able to win a Grand Slam title in the last 20 majors that have been contested since the beginning of 2005. Roger Federer's won 11 of his 15 during that time, and Rafael Nadal's given him a pretty good run for his money, having bagged 6 of them. The only other players to have crashed the party have been Marat Safin, who was crowned champion here in 2005, Novak Djokovic, who followed suit 3 years later, and Juan Martín del Potro, who was victorious at the US Open last season. So for Andy Murray to add his name to that illustrious list, his game obviously needs to be good enough for him to beat the very best players in the world when it really matters. So I thought it would be interesting to delve a little deeper in order to find out if he's ready. His serve's improved dramatically since making technical changes to his motion back in 2007, when he started to rotate his upper body more as well as lowering the ball toss, adding more disguise and racket head speed, from which he's benefited greatly. So far in the tournament, he's held 87% of his service games. Murray's returns have always been one of his greatest strengths, and they continue to cause even the best players in the world all sorts of problems. Against one of the biggest servers in the game in the 4th round, Murray dismantled John Isner's serve with relative ease, as tactically he got it spot on, taking the ball much earlier than he would have done normally in order to counter the greater angles Isner can generate given he's 6'9", and the higher bounce this causes too. And Murray jumped all over his second serve, allowing the American to win just 8 points in total throughout the match when he was down to his weaker offering. And Murray will need to be just as effective today when he gets similar opportunities. Murray's also worked extremely hard off-court, and physically he's much improved.
Genius.
His movement's outstanding, and this not only allows him to chase balls down, but once he makes the distance, his hands are so exceptional that he can still hurt the opposition from seemingly impossible positions. From the back of the court, Murray also has the ability to vary the pace of his ground strokes wonderfully well, because he's one of the few players that can hit up the back of the ball when requiring a high percentage play, hit through it when wanting to produce more pace, and he can slice the ball phenomenally well when he wants to try and get the ball to stay a little lower, all of which give his opponents plenty to contemplate, as their hitting zone is in a constant state of flux, so they often find it really difficult to get into a rhythm against him. And if opponents try and hurt him by coming into the net, it only plays into Murray's hands, as he loves a target.
Brilliant.
And although Murray tends to play primarily from the baseline, his ability to volley well when required was highlighted beautifully in his quarter-final win over Nadal. Time and time again, he was able to earn cheap points when he needed them most by coming into the net and displaying perfect poise under pressure.
Super.
So there's no question that his game's good enough to be effective against the very best players in the world, and his desire to succeed is obvious for all to see. If he can control his nerves if he gets within sight of the finish line, there's no reason why he can't become the first British men's singles winner of a Grand Slam title for 74 years.